my new book. It is coming out tomorrow, guys, straight up. And I'm going to explain some things for you, how you can get a signed copy from me. I'm actually going to be signing copies here live. I just want to make sure you guys hear me well. If you hear me, give me a thumbs up. I got Brandy from North Carolina in here. What up, Bunny? How you doing? Hey, Jackie. How you doing? What up, Cheryl? How you doing? So many people in here. This is great. A lot of people have already pre-ordered it. Cool. Can you guys hear me good? Okay, cool. Y'all hear me? Awesome. So, as you guys know, this is my second book, Straight Up. It is available starting tomorrow. But if you go look in the description, I'm actually giving away, well, not giving away. You can purchase signed copies of Straight Up at premiercollectibles.com. And it's just super cool. So right now it's a live signing I'm doing. I did it last year. And it's just a way for me to engage, a way for me to answer questions. So make sure you have your questions. Why did I write the book? What was the inspiration behind it? What chapters in it? All the questions that you want to ask me, I am here for you for these next 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And guys, like, I cannot thank each and every one of you for your continued support, like, of Rehab Time. It's just amazing to see, even from last year to this year, how much Rehab Time continues to grow, how much you guys support me. And listen, right now I'm in quarantine, right? I'm like in my house. So if you hear a dog bark, if you hear the kids run through here, just pay it no mind. Okay, I can't be in New York City doing this, obviously, because of COVID-19. So again, make sure you go to premiercollectibles.com /straight up to get your signed copy personally from me. I'm actually going to sign a few right now. And I want to check out you guys' questions. What's up, Kathy? Kathy said I inspired her every single day with your daily growth. I appreciate it, Kathy. Usually I have a team. Doing this, but it's just me, man. So you guys got to rock with me and work with me. I'm actually signing this for Gerald right now from Brooklyn, New York. Appreciate you, Gerald. And I'm gonna get into some of these questions. But first and foremost, let me tell you why I wrote this book. First things first, as my phone is ringing. First things first, you know, this book is targeted to young adults, but this book is for adults too. I will say that. You're probably gonna get this book for your child or for your nephew or for your niece or for somebody you truly care about, and you're probably gonna read it and not put it down. Because the lessons that I'm teaching in this book, to me, are for everybody. And my whole mindset behind this was, there's a lot of people in this space that write books for adults, right? Nothing wrong with that. The Greatest You, I felt like, was more targeted to adults. But I'm just like, if we're going to really change the future, we got to touch the kids. We got to touch the young adults. It's a lot easier to repair. It's a lot easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken adults, right? And so this book, for me, was the book to be able to say, you know what? I want to be able to give straight up talk to these kids, to the young adults, and to you too. Because I already had people like read the book and they're like, Trent, this book is for adults also. But I want to give that straight up talk. And when you pick up this book or you have your kid read this book, if you love me online, which you guys do because you're here, this book to me brings out video Trent. And what I mean by that, like, some of the chapters, I start off, listen, as real as I can put it. Everybody ain't your friend, just like that. The Greatest You is more of a journey. This book is more straight up to your face. And real talk. You know, the truth sometimes helps, but it hurts, but it always helps. And so this book is broken up into 52 lessons. Okay, so you can take it a week at a time if you want. It's broken up into 12 chapters. And I'm going to actually dive into it a little bit. I'll probably maybe even read just a little bit. I want to bore you guys. I don't want to give too much away. But make sure, okay, you guys go to premiercollectibles.com /straight up and get your signed copy. What I want to do right now is I want to answer some questions, okay? I have some questions right here I'm going to answer as we kick it. What up, Paul? Can you not hear me? Oh, Liz. What up, what up, what up? Paul said, I'm from Canada. What up, Diana? Hey, Catherine. How you doing? So let's take a question. Maria from actually Australia said, what was the hardest thing about writing this book, and what have you learned along the journey? The hardest thing was being just super transparent. And trying to figure out like what's too transparent for kids, what's too transparent for the youth. And I just realized that there's no really like too transparent, because I feel like, growing up, I wish, and I did have this by the way, but I wish it would have been times 10, the straight up talk and saying, this is why I wouldn't do this. I wish I had conversations about mental health, which we have in this book. I wish I had conversations about your environment and people around you, which people did, but it wasn't in this in-depth way and just straight up way. And so in writing this, I kind of struggled back and forth at first, like, man, like, is this too much for, an 18-year-old? Is this too much for a 13-year-old? Is this too much for a 25-year-old? And my answer was no. And in this journey of writing the book, it also, just like in anything you create, you relive certain memories in certain times in your life, and you have to dig up stuff and revisit moments that you might have forgot about or that you wanted to get. So it's always an emotional ride in writing this book, but this one was a lot easier for me, to be honest with you, in the standpoint of I was just able to, like, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and people take it or they don't take it. So yeah, that was a great question by Maria. Let me take a few more questions. Mariah from Bakersfield, California said, what has been the most fulfilling part of your career to date? That is such a hard question. What up, Linda? What has been the most fulfilling part? Ah, man, let me sign a book as I think about that. There's so much. It's so hard to choose from. The most fulfilling part of my career. And it's kind of crazy people say career, because I don't really think of it like a career. I just think of it like it's my life. That's tough. That's hard. But I'm gonna go with being able to create. Okay, and this is probably like the cheat code, because I'm about to pick a variety of things, but it's true. Being able to create things that really help people. When you guys are on here right now saying, hey, like, Trent, this video helped me, this book helped me, this message helped me, like, that is fulfilling to me, because it makes me understand that what I went through, and I want you to think about this, guys, because sometimes we struggle in our life when we go through certain things and we're like, man, why did I go through this? And now when I look back on my life, it was the things that I went through that are now become like help for other people. It's now become, I always say it like this, my past pain has become future strength for other people. And so knowing that I went through something for a deeper purpose, right? For something bigger than me to help other people, has been the most fulfilling part. And so when I see somebody, hey, Trent, your video helped change my life, or your book helped change my life. Hopefully when people get straight up, they're like, man, like, I needed that message. Nothing will beat that. Like, I want you to hear me clear. I told my text message community earlier today, make sure you're a part of it if you're not. But I told my text message community earlier today, like, thank you, because you guys' message keep me going. Because this job of, I say job, but this calling, this purpose of, helping people and impacting people, it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's tough. There's times when, I'm going through my own situations, but I got to continue to show up. And so I want to say, like, thank you to each and every one of you that hits me up and say, hey, Trent, I needed this. You don't know just how much that does for me. You don't know how much strength that gives me in this journey of rehab time. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, Gail. What up, Damon? How you doing, man? Guys, I'm trying to do like 3 things at once. I'm like, where am I at? Where am I at? Or I'm trying to sign books. I'm trying to answer questions. So like, this is the COVID-19 version, man. So I appreciate you guys for rocking with me with this. I know today might seem a little bit different, but I have like 1,000 things going on at once as I sign these books. Remember, guys, you can go to premiercollectibles.com/straight up to get your signed copy of Straight Up. Okay, I know a lot of you love the signed copy, so make sure you go there, premiercollectibles.com, and get your signed copy. And that's why I'm on here today, just to talk about the book and just to answer questions about it. So let's keep going to these questions. Somebody asked, this is a really interesting question, right? I think it's, dang, I'm about to mispronounce your name. Kateri? Maybe? Kateri? Kateri from Arizona. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. Okay, charge it to my mind, not my heart. So Kateri asked, "What songs would be the soundtrack to this book?" That is a deep question. What songs would be the soundtrack to this book? Well, for one, Make the World Respect Your Greatness is definitely one of them. By myself, okay? And my brother. So Make the World Respect Your Greatness is definitely one. I think when you pick up this book, you're going to have that type of energy. And then I would say, man, I can't just answer that like with one song. I feel like there's so many different layers to this book that it will be a song for each lesson. Like, some of it's going to be heartfelt. Some of it's going to be conquering. Some of it is going to be, revisiting places you don't want to revisit. So maybe some sad songs. So the song that I'm going to go with on the safe side is Make the World Respect Your Greatness. All right. Let me read something from the book, guys. I want to share a good piece of this so you guys can get a good. Let's see. All right, let's read this. I just opened up to this. Lesson 19. Loyalty is rare. And I'm not going to read too much because I don't want to bore y'all. But loyalty is rare. If all you had to offer was friendship, who would still be around? If you didn't have anything except yourself, who would you still call a friend? Who would still show up? I learned a painful lesson right out of college. I realized that the people I thought were my friends weren't actually my friends. They didn't like me. They liked the things they got from me. And that's not real friendship. Look, I was no means by a famous athlete, but I did have some success in college and in the NFL. People began to hang around me. And I didn't realize it at this time, but they did this because they wanted something from me. They looked at me and thought, you're big. You're in the NFL. You're young. You're fit and muscular. And if I'm around you, I'll feel good about myself too. See, this is how fame works. Fame says two things. First, to the famous person, it says, you have something that a whole lot of people want. Sell yourself to them. Let them consume you. Evaluate you and flood you with approval. Then you'll be valuable. In this case, I was valuable only because I was an athlete in the NFL. And then to the people around the famous person, it says, if you tie yourself to that person, hang around them and ride their coattails, that will make you important too. In this case, I was valuable to other people, not as a friend or a person, but a means of gaining popularity. Everything fame says is a lie. Fame is fleeting, I know. I was a hot commodity for a minute. Then like a shooting star, that bright future in professional sports went out. And suddenly, people started disappearing from my life. I realized I was fighting for people who wouldn't throw a punch for me. I realized I had people in my circle who wasn't in my corner. These people wanted something from me. They didn't value me. They valued what I gave them. For some, you're just an opportunity. This is how these fake friends will do you. They'll present what you want just to take what they need. When they can no longer benefit from your life, their loyalty leaves. Do they really have love for you? Or do they just fake it? Do they really have love for you? Or do they just use you? Here are some warning signs I saw in my own life that I want you to be aware of. Think of these as red flags. That's all I'm reading today, guys. But that's the vibe of the book. And I'm sure you felt video Trent, right? In this book. That's the vibe of it. It's just straight up, straight talk. And it's not just about friendships, obviously, but there's a big section over relationships, over pain and suffering, over championship mindset, so many different topics. And at the end of each chapter, so let's go to the end of this lesson. At the end of each lesson, if you can see, it has an activity that you can do, right? It's called RehabTime Coach Pep Talk. It's an activity that you can do, that you can apply. I didn't just write this book for people to read it and just be like, great book. I wrote this book so people could really apply it. It's digestible. This isn't a book to make you think like, Trent is a great writer. Oh my gosh, like I love it. To me, that doesn't mean anything if you're not applying it to your life. And also it's for young adults. So I made sure I gave it to Tristan and said, Tristan, like I want you to be able to read this and apply this. So you can buy the book right now at premiercollectibles.com/straight-up if you want a signed copy. It is available to the world, all right, starting tomorrow, which I'll be on live again tomorrow. So let me answer a few more questions as we keep this live rolling. I'll read another section out this book if that's cool with you. Thank you, thank you, Linda. What's up, Linda? What up, Rhonda? Thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. Miss Johnson's a top fan. That is so cool. Let me reply. Let me see. Thank you. I'm actually on my computer today, guys. I'm never on my computer. So I'm like trying to do everything at once. Let's see. So Christy said, how did and do you get your inspiration for your photo shoot themes? I don't even know if they're themes. If you're talking about this cover on the book, so cool story in this cover. This was taken, you can tell by the length of my hair, probably in 2017. It's actually one of my favorite pictures. I would have never thought my publisher would pick this picture. And so shout out to HarperCollins for picking this picture because it's one of my favorite ones. But I'm in Miami, the Windward Arts District. And on the back, you can see it here. And I wanted the vibe. Like, I like that picture. I think it embodies this book. And so I'm just glad that they picked it because most people have been like, that's kind of too edgy, but they picked it. So, and I was like, cool. I actually like that one. But as far as my other photo shoots, I just take a picture in a shirt and post it. You know, I usually leave it up to the photographer and they can figure that out. Stephanie, let's go to this next question. Stephanie asked, was this always your career goal? Some of you already know this answer. Absolutely not. And I want to inspire everybody right now because I know I'm talking a lot reading the book. This is what it's for. But I want to give you guys some meat, right? Some muscle to take with you, some inspiration. So people have asked me that. I've done radio interviews all day today, guys. Like these last few weeks, I'm going to be real with you, has been overwhelmingly stressful. But I'm thankful for the stress. I'm thankful to be in this position, but it's a lot going on. And so, well, I mean, moving, like things that y'all probably don't care about, but it's a lot going on. And so I've been getting the same question over and over and over again. Was this always your career goal? The answer is absolutely not. Like, and I hope this inspires someone out there because a lot of times we look at ourselves or you look at somebody online, you're like, oh, I can never be that person. I could never be Trent Shelton. I could never be whoever it is, right? Because you start to look at your start with somebody else's, like myself, 10 years in this. Listen to me. I never wanted to be a speaker ever. I'm a social introvert. I'm an introverted person by nature. Even to this day, if you're around me, I'm probably gonna be the most quietest person in the room because I'm always observing and thinking, right? I'm always lost in thought. And when I talk, it just comes out. And obviously I wanted to be an NFL player. So it was never like, I didn't even read books. Talking about writing books. I love to write, but I didn't think I could be an author. Like growing up, that wasn't even on the menu. It was either being a rapper, being an entertainer, or being an athlete. That was it. It wasn't even in the menu. So to be here now, like to share a vulnerable moment with you guys on here, all 700 of you that stuck with me today, to share a vulnerable moment, like this book, man, as I'm about to tear up, makes me super proud because like I know kids are going to get this book or see me, which I get now, right? Especially on TikTok. They see me and now they see a different avenue out. Right? Especially just being real, like kids that look like me, you know, African Americans, or maybe from a certain, you know, maybe from a certain set of circumstances. And you're only thinking like the only way out is these ways. And now you see a person on the cover, right, that looks cool, I think, and says, dang, like I can write a book, like I can be an author, or see a motivational speaker, like, dang, I can be a motivational speaker like that, or I can have tattoos and stuff and still do it. That, oh, cool. And so that inspires me more than ever, man, when I have people come up to me that might, you know, look outside the box, especially in this profession. You know, I don't look like a clean-cut author. I mean, I'm clean-cut, I think, you know, but I don't look like an author. That would be like the last pick somebody would pick me for if they didn't know who I was, or a motivational speaker. And so to see myself in this position and to be one of the, you know, top people in this space, you know, one of the most followed speakers in the world, it's totally incredible. And I owe that to you guys for sharing the message, but I just can't wait till the day when these kids get this book and say, Trent, you know, I knew I could be whatever, because I saw you doing something that was kind of impossible. You know, I saw you being the outcast in your industry. I saw you looking different than everybody else. And I saw you like from the beginning, guys, like I started with this cell phone. Like, please let me be clear about this. there wasn't many people that were talking to the cell phone like this when I started. So a lot of influencers, you know, I'm not gonna say I was the reason they started, but I know I set the tone for this generation as far as like influencers speaking to their cell phone and talking motivation, inspiration. I started in 2009. And so to see it now, to see people like accept people that you can come on here and have a snapback cap. You know, maybe 10 years ago, hey, you got to look more professional. You can come in here wear your own merchandise and t-shirt. You can be who you are. And so I've always and continue to fight for that. I continue to push the envelope. I continue to fight for people to be who they are in their professions, because there's a lot of great people that never get the chance because of how they look or where they come from. And so if you're watching this right now, whatever limitations society has tried to put on you, I hope that you know and believe that the only limitations that exist are the ones that you set. Society can tell you whatever, people can tell you whatever, but at the end of the day, it's only what you accept. And it's hard, I get it, it's hard sometimes to break through, but you got to continue to fight for it. Because when you fight for certain things, when you break the mold, when you disrupt the industry, what happens is you make room, you pave a path for everybody else that comes behind you. So I want to share that. That was a great question. I probably answer that question a lot more. From Ireland, what up, Samantha? Appreciate you, Samantha. Darlene says she just purchased the book. Thank you, Darlene. I really appreciate you guys. And a lot of you didn't even know I had a book coming out. I need to do better. I thought I talked about it a lot, but you guys can join my text messaging group if you haven't. That's 817-242-2719. I give a lot of updates. And remember, guys, if you want a signed copy, as I'm forgetting to sign these copies right now, if you want a signed copy, make sure you go to, the link should be in the description, but premiercollectibles.com/straight up. Signed. Guys, we got about 5 more minutes together, or about 8 more minutes. Let me answer a few more questions. My daughter's about to walk in here, so my kids are about to walk in, my wife, so it's about to get rowdy in here. Hopefully they can make a guest appearance. Latricia asks, will I write another book after this one? Absolutely so. I don't know if it's going to be traditionally published, to be honest with you. But, you know, I'm out of my book deal, okay, right now. Like, this was my last book I was responsible for. And now I'm just deciding on if I want to go self-publish. But I have some books in the stash that I cannot wait to get out. Some things that I talk a lot about. I don't want to give the titles, so I don't want nobody to take them. But some things that I talk a lot about. I don't want to give the title away. It won't be this, by the way, but it'll be some things about worth that's strictly on that. It'll be some things about purpose that's strictly on that. So yeah, I'll definitely be writing more books. I'm not sure when, but you can count on that. Let's see. This is funny. I might. All right, guys. So let me answer questions. Let me answer some more questions from Facebook. What questions do we have? Let's see. Life is so, guys. I'm right here now. You guys have submitted questions there, but I'm right here directly on the live feed. So, Elizabeth says she wore that All Starts With You shirt today. Appreciate you, Elizabeth. So you guys hit me up with the questions right now about the book, about anything I want to answer. Yep. Okay, somebody asked, let me see. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, C. It keeps crashing. I'm sorry if it does. Okay, here we go. Let's see. How can a person hold their head up when the ones you thought were the closest to you are the ones bringing you down? How? I have a narcissist. Okay. So, Linda, that's a great question. And I actually talk about this a lot in the book. And that's not a push for you to go buy the book and act like I'm not going to address it now. Believe me, I'm about to address it. But I want to say I do talk about that in the book. This is the thing that's really helped me. And I'll put it to you like this. When you can't change the situation, what I mean by that, like you have family, somebody close to you, when you can't change the situation, you have to change your mindset towards the situation. I'm sure you heard me say a million times, like sometimes you have to learn how to love people from a distance. And what really helped me was not taking things personal, right? Because at first, when somebody close to me didn't believe in me, or when somebody close to me, wasn't loyal to me, or said something behind my back, or whatever, whatever situation may be, it used to really hurt me. And I was like, dang, and it would bother me to the point where like I had no peace, and it would really affect me. And I was just thinking like, man, like how can I allow somebody who does so little for me to control so much of me? And I know a lot of you go through that at times in your life, right? A lot of you have those moments where, there's people who don't really do much for you, right? Maybe they do much for you, but there's people who don't do much for you that control so much of you. And so I started to realize these things. First of all, I always do a heart check, right? I never point the finger without pointing the thumb first. So I always ask myself, am I contributing to this person acting this way, right? Am I doing something to spark this person's emotions? What am I doing? And I evaluate that. And if my answer is no, I'm just being who I am. I'm kind-hearted. I'm giving. I'm loving. I'm supportive. And this person is still choosing to treat me a certain type of way. One, right? If they choose to treat you that way, you can choose not to accept it. And I know that's easier said than done, but you have to understand that truth. Nobody can continually treat you a certain type of way without your permission. Like you have to understand that truth, for one. For two, what really helped me is realizing that it's a them problem, not a me problem. And when I realized it's a them problem, when I realized that they're fighting battles, they're fighting addictions, they're fighting certain things in their own life that they haven't dealt with, I know that it's nothing I could do. There's no perfection I could provide to change them. It's like, so you have to be clear about that. So when I realized it was a them problem, I stopped taking it personal. I mean, it doesn't make it, I'm going to say it doesn't make it easy, but it makes it easier to know, okay, like it's not nothing I'm doing, it's them. And so I also understand this. I understand the truth about my life. I always say FOF, facts over feelings, something I teach a lot about. And I'm going to give you this right quick. You guys can write this down. When it comes to facts over feelings, I'll talk about this in the book too. Feelings are real, but they aren't always right, right? Somebody might say something about you. You might feel a certain type of way. Too many times we accept the feelings as truth. We don't never debunk the feelings with facts. And so one of the things that you could do is, and this might seem very cheesy, but it works, is to write down facts about your life. Okay? Write down these facts. Write down the truths about your life, not the fake truths this world tried to give you, not the fake truths somebody tried to put on your life and said you all these things. I'm talking about the real facts, right? How God created you, right? Those facts. The facts you know about you, not what the world tried to give you, because too often we allow the world's lies to become our truth. We allow someone's judgments and how someone treats us and opinions to become our reality. We can't do that. So write down the facts about your life, okay? Maybe 5 or 10. Then from there, what you have to do after you write down the facts about your life, you have to write down why this is true, right? Why this is true. Because what this is doing, this is rooting these truths in your soul. I want you to understand that. Rooting these truths in your soul. So you have that part of it. And then after that, so for me, I know it's a lot, but after that, after I have these truths in my life, after I know why these facts are real, I always have action plans to be able to implement these facts when the feelings show up. So for example, if your brother is treating you like crap, saying all these things, right? What's the truth about yourself? Why is that true? And then what action can you take to really remind you of that fact? And I know that's like a whole step process, but I wanted to be clear about that. Like facts over feelings are everything for me. Deborah asks, are you touring anytime soon? I don't know. I mean, it depends how this world goes. I would love to be in front of you guys and meet you guys. I was planning on doing a RehabTime event this year, but it didn't happen. So hopefully next time we'll be able to make that happen. And make sure too, I want to say this before I get off of here. Again, books, if you want a signed copy, go to premiercollectibles.com/straight up. And I want to say this before I get off. I'm praying for everybody that's in this live right now, man, because I know how hard it is for me. I know how hard it is for you. I know how hard it is for everybody during this time. We are in a mental health crisis more than we're in a physical crisis. And I don't want to take away from the physical crisis because that's real too. But we're in a mental health crisis. And there's so many people that's, there's so many things that's leading to depression, leading to anxiety, leading to questioning your worth. You know, even me at times, guys. Like, I'm just being super transparent and straight up with you. And it's very important that you have a prayer life. It's very important that you have a protect your peace life. It's very important that you're around the right environment during these times, because these times will eat you alive mentally if you don't get very intentional about your life. And so I want to say I'm praying for everybody. I know we all are fighting silent battles maybe nobody knows about, but I just want to say I'm proud of you. I appreciate you, whether you get the book or not. Like, I appreciate your support. It means the world to me. Like, straight up, it really, really does. And it's because of you I'm able to keep pushing on. Like, I want to be clear about that. Obviously, it's because of God and my faith and people that love me, but it's you guys that show up. It's you guys that hit me up. It's you guys that watch the videos. It's you guys that, you know, support the merchandise. It's you guys that just send me messages, buys the books, whatever it may be. However you support, those things really keep me going. And I want to say thank you. And it means a lot to me. It really does. As you know, my mother's birthday is tomorrow. You guys keep my mom in your prayers. You know, the book comes out on her birthday. And, you know, my mom's fighting a battle with cancer. I know some of you read my first book. She was healed, but now she's fighting another battle with cancer. So you guys keep her lifted up. And I think it's no coincidence that this book is coming out on her birthday. I think it's just something special about that moment. And yeah, man, I'm going to keep riding for you guys. So thank you guys, too, for being patient. I know I'm not on live a lot. I know I'm not, you know, like super on it a lot, but just know I'm always working behind the scenes for you guys. I'm always thinking about how can I deliver more? How can I touch you guys' heart? How can I deliver all these things? So I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to quit. You got to make sure you guys do the same for me. All right? Do the same for me. Don't give up. I need you just like you need me. Like I said in every single video, it all starts with you. Again, guys, go to premiercollectibles.com/trade-up if you want to sign a copy. Tomorrow's the big day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to come on here tomorrow and we just chop it up, man. Who knows? It'd be random, but who knows how we're going to get down on the release of this book, man. Peace out, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me for 32 minutes. I know this isn't you guys' normal live for me. You guys are used to me just going ham, but I really want to talk about the book. Matter of fact, hold on, before you get off, let me read one more thing from the book. I got to for you guys. Let me just find something. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let me see. I should just pick something. Let me just, whatever you get. Okay, cool. Here we go, right here. Lesson 32. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let's read right here. I don't know. Let me see. Cool. The benefits of being uncomfortable. Here's the thing. The uncomfortable zone is actually pretty cool. If you're spending some time in the uncomfortable zone, I can bet you more than likely you'll be conquering your fears. You'll be excited about your own life. You'll be conquering your struggles. You'll be conquering your laziness. This is where you become better. And if you have dreams for your life to be fruitful, to grow and become all that you can be, you're going to have to learn how to live in the uncomfortable zone. I learned this pretty on. My chances of being in the NFL were incredibly low. In 2019, about 7.1% of high school senior players even went on to play NCAA football. And only about 1.6 of those NCAA senior players were drafted by the NFL team. So out of all the high school players, only about 9 in 10,000 get drafted. That is 0.09%. That's a really low percentage. I had to push myself to beat those odds, which meant learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I had to get up early and go to workouts by myself. I had to stay late after practice. I had to train in 100-degree heat in Texas, Lord. I had to do 2-a-days when I didn't want to. Was that comfortable? No. It was definitely uncomfortable, but I had to do it because I had a dream. And also because I was gifted by God with athletic ability, and I wanted to see if I could push myself to my ultimate best as an athlete. I didn't want to leave anything on the table. I wanted to see if I could make it to the NFL. I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it's not just about my NFL journey. I just happened to come on 2 subjects that talk about my NFL career. But it's a lot more than that. But that chapter is real, man. I talk about it all the time. Whatever it is in your life, if you're trying to create growth, if you're trying to create change, if you're trying to create your dream, if you're trying to write books, if you're trying to, whatever it is, you got to learn to be uncomfortable. You just have to. Like, nothing's easy. Coming on live right now, like, it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit. I mean, I'm used to it. I've been doing this for a long time, but it's still kind of different, you know? But you have to learn to be comfortable in the uncomfortable because you know change is taking place. And so, guys, that's a little bit from the book. Again, if you want your signed copy, go to premiercollectibles.com/straight up. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be on a hike somewhere, just going live randomly. So make sure you have your notifications on. And again, man, I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you for rocking with me for these 35 minutes, man. You guys are the best. Let's get it. Straight up.